Hi, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about what is allyship and who are we looking for when it comes to allyship and the do's and don'ts of allyship, and also why is it important to have allies. So before I begin, I just wanted to point out that I will be reading off of my notes here. Yes, my eyes going to be all over the place, but I just want to point that out so you won't think that I'm doing something else or anything like that. So before I start off, I just want to state this. Black Lives Matter, and if you don't agree or can't understand what is going on, I have some recommendations down in the description box where there are books and things to watch to educate yourself. But I just want to say, if you choose to not hear this, you can exit out the video. That's totally fine. But yeah, this is really important, and I just want to share with you what it means to be an ally. So let's start off with the history of Black Lives Matter. So Black Lives Matter started in 2013 when the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murder, and it really hit the African American community very bad, because we know what it is and what it means to want something, to seek justice for something that we know that it could have been one of us, and we know that it's wrong for what went down and how the results came out to be. And so this organization came out of this to alert society, to let them know that Black lives are dying and there's something that needs to be done about this. And when it comes to our community, we've been voicing this out and we're not getting anywhere. There's no justice anywhere. There's the reason why I mentioned our Black lives is what I'm talking about is that police brutality. We're being impacted by that. We're being impacted by healthcare. We're being impacted by financial, trying to get to that wealth gap where other counterparts are actually achieving more than what we're achieving. So Black Lives stands for everything into that. So enough with the, not enough, but more so when it comes to Black Lives, we're Black Lives Matter organization. We're talking about how yes, we have this organization out there, but we need more support when it comes to voicing out our issues. So this is where allies come in, and I want to go further and start off by stating that get to it. So what is allyship? And let me start off with that. So allies are well-informed people who understands the cause, the movement, or the people that are being oppressed. So allies are educated, they've done enough research and know that, okay, there's an issue here and I know there's something that I can do. Allies identify their own privilege and how their privilege is impacting the oppression or the cause that's being placed at hand. And this is what allies are generally. So who are we looking for when we're looking for allies? We're looking for people of every race, creed, doesn't matter your gender identity or your sexual orientation. We're looking for people who are critical thinkers. We're looking for people who are educated in various topics on the issue that's going on right now. We're looking for people who are willing to use their voice to use your voice to amplify the voices that are being out there. And being with that, allies are generally what we need in order to move the goal that we're trying to move, which is to help society be aware of why this movement is there and why this issue is a problem. So the third question is, why is allyship important? From some of the stuff that I just mentioned earlier, allyship is important due to helping people recognize the issue. We're already voicing out the problem. Black lives are dying in the hands of police. And my voice, as being a Black person, my voice is enough. But having to have an ally with me, standing up with me, and being there and advocating for me makes it even more powerful. Because we know that we're being heard and that we're not alone in the situation. So that's why allyship is important. Next, so now that I explained to you some of the importance of allyship and stuff like that, I just want to point out and just to remind you, please subscribe down below. And to continue on, let's just go off to, I know I probably said a mouthful of things when it comes to allyship, and I just want to let you guys know that how important this is for me and how it is important for the Black community as well. So I just want to move on further and to discuss the do's and don'ts of allyship. And a lot of people who want to become allies tend to fall short on what it means to be an ally. What do I do? What are some things that I can do? And I just want to go over the do's and don'ts. So first off, I'm going to go over with do's. And before I start off with do's of allyship, I just want to mention that social workers, we are, I would have to say we are allies. We advocate for those who are in oppressed conditions. We make sure they get their food, clothing, employment, and also shelter, because those are the basic needs that you need. So if you're not able to get to those basic needs, we're here to advocate for you and to help you out and try to figure out, okay, what's missing here in part A that you can't get to part B. So that's our job. So being a social worker, we are allies, and I have held many allies positions and also educate myself on something that I don't know. There's nothing wrong with educating yourself on certain topics and stuff like that. It's okay to ask questions. It's all about being able to think and also to not step on people's toes, especially the oppressed population toes, and to understand what is going on and to be open and listen. So now that I mentioned that, let me go off by stating the do's and the don'ts of allyships. So starting off with the do's is be open to listening. Listening gives rise to understanding someone from their point of view. Quiet down your thoughts and tune in onto those that need your help. So that's part of a do. That's a very big do, because the biggest thing is listening is the key to everything. It's everything that we do, and that's pretty much it. The other do is that be aware of your implicit bias. We all have them, and it's okay that to put them out there. As long as they're out there, you're aware of them and know how to tame them, push them out, and just focus. And next, do your research to learn more about the history of the struggle in which you are participating in. So learning about the history of the movement that you're trying to focus on. So for example, for the Black Lives Movement, learning about the history of how Black people came into this country, and knowing about the different different impacts that impacted them while coming here, slavery, Jim Crow, all that stuff. And I will leave a recommendation down in the description box below. The next one is advocate for those that have no voice through the means of online and when physically present. So I'm glad that I read that, it just gave me a thought that allies is more than just posting, tweeting and stuff like that. You have to do the work. It's about doing the work. It's about showing up and advocating for those during this time right now. Next, continue on to the dues of allyship. Do learn how to listen and accept criticism with grace, even in uncomfortable situations, or even if it makes you uncomfortable. I feel that when you first jump into something, like for example, let's say taking swimming lessons or any type of lesson, when you first decide to do something such as something like this, you have all these fear and also this uncomfortableness, like being in a bathing suit, how it's uncomfortable and stuff like that, and then eventually you're accepting this uncomfortness and change it to be comfortable, because you're learning on how to do the swimming lessons. You're learning to accept wearing the bathing suit and stuff like that. So with every little thing that you start putting your mind to, you have these unnecessary fears, or probably not unnecessary, but fears to protect yourself. So when it comes to being uncomfortable, it's about embracing that uncomfortableness and learning that you're doing this because you're trying to learn something. I don't know if that was a good analogy. I probably will think of something else probably in the description box of a good explanation on that. So enough about the do's, now let's get down to the don'ts. And the don'ts is very important because it stops the progress that we're trying to achieve, and we don't need allies being the cause of the problem or adding on to the problem. Do not expect to be taught or shown, or take it upon yourself to learn about what's going on and research about what's going on. And do not participate in the oppression competition. Like, it's not about comparing struggles and stuff like that, or I had this struggle, or your struggle is not compared to what I've been through and stuff like that. It's not a competition. Right now, it's just the focusing on the goal is to focusing on what's going on, how can I help, and that's pretty much it. Let me research what I need to research to figure out how I can best support you and advocate for you. Do not behave as though as you know best. We don't need people who thinks, okay, this and this, I know that, blah blah blah, stuff like that. No, we don't need that. Do not take credit for the labor and stuff like that. For those who are marginalized, who did the work before you and stuff like that, do not take the credit. We're all learning and we're all providing and putting effort in and stuff like that. There's no, I did this and stuff like that. Do not assume that every member of the group is okay with being oppressed. No one, I mean, I don't like to be oppressed. I'm trying to move out there. I'm trying to make some things. I have some goals and stuff like that. I don't want nothing blocking me. And just to re-mention again, not everyone in the group is okay with being oppressed. And that's pretty much when it comes to the don'ts. So I hope that you're able to understand what is allyship and how important it is to be an ally. Once again, the do's and don'ts of being an ally, and what are some ways that you can help out during this time. We really need support. I cannot stress that enough. And being out there protesting and showing up and advocating, because that's my role as a social worker. And yeah, we need allies. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.